Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm here with my sister and we're going to do another JoJo tier list ranking, except this time with the main villains of JoJo's. We're going to start it off with good old part 1 Dio,
I
which
will say, if
I
you
will,
didn't like our opinions in the last video, this one is probably going to be even worse. So get ready for that.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. Hate us, I don't know. I'm going to put him in A tier. He's fun to watch, a bit basic, but I really enjoy just watching Dio be Dio.
Yeah, Dio Part 1 is very classic villain, so I would do A tier. My unpopular opinion is I like Dio in Part 1 a lot more than I like Part 3 Dio. So,
Should we just go ahead and do part 3 Dio?
no, we gotta go in order.
Okay, I'm gonna put Cars at B. He's a little basic, but I do enjoy watching him. He's just a little too focused on his goal, a little tenacious, um, and he just, I don't know. I enjoy watching him, but he doesn't have as much character.
So Cars for me goes C tier. And I say that mostly because the final fight with Joseph and Wamu was way better than the Cars fight with Joseph. I think, and also just Cars is just kind of boring for a villain.
Actually,
I mean, he's the kind of classic
yeah,
like
I'm
just
moving him down a little
evil
bit.
for being evil kind of thing that Dio kind of has going on, but it's like even more just bland than Dio.
Mm-hmm.
So
Moving to part 3 Dio. Great, but just not as fun as he was in part 1. I don't feel like he got as much time to shine in general. He was still really fun to watch at the end. But
um,
yeah.
I'd put Dio above Cars. So I like the Dio's presence in part 3. I think that is very good, but honestly, it just feels like kind of a rehash of Part 1 Dio. And I mean, the world is cool and all, but I don't know. And, again, in my unpopular opinion, the fight with Jotaro was like okay. I think it was just like
I thought it was a
okay.
good fight, but
So
we can disagree. Okay, moving to Kira, I'm gonna say a solid S tier. Really fun villain to watch. Just I could get hours of this guy.
yeah,
In terms of watching a villain.
Kira is S tier. Kira is my number one JoJo villain. Spoilers, I guess, but I think he's the most interesting. I like his personality a lot. And he makes very human errors as opposed to like Dio kind of. I mean, Dio makes mistakes because he's too confident, but like the mistakes that Kira makes are just like illogical, just because that's who he is as a person.
Mm-hmm.
More so than just being. I mean, he is also overconfident, but also I think he has the best death for a JoJo villain, the most ironic, and I
Yeah,
really like that.
it was crazy. Um, Diavolo, this might be unpopular. He is going at the bottom of C for me. Uh, Doppio's better. Doppio's more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
Diavolo just is boring, isn't there most of the time, and the fight with him at the end, both on his end and Jorno's, just is lackluster. He makes it a lot more enjoyable than Jorno does.
Yeah, I
Um,
like the split
but
personality thing Diavolo has going with Doppio, but Doppio kind of hard carries it, so I'd put him in B. I think his stand is cool. I like the whole like tie-in with Fate thing and how it catches up to you, because it's the whole JoJo thematic thing. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say about Diavolo. He's just kind of
yeah,
he's there. He does. Diavolo's death does seem a little extreme compared to what Dio got. Diavolo's is a little like excessive. I think the stuck in an endless death loop.
it was
I mean,
a
that
whole
seems more like
lot.
a Dio deserving thing. I mean, I know Diavolo is like fucked up too, but compared to like Dio or something, or even Cars. I mean, Cars' ending is like really bad too. That would be horrible, but
Diavolo arguably probably has a little worse because just infinite death. But yeah, Dio probably deserves that death more than Diavolo does. Moving to Poochie, I'm gonna put him right next to Dio. Really enjoyable to watch. Um, just good overall, I think.
I'm gonna put Poochie in S tier below Kira because honestly, I like Poochie because he's unique. Poochie is the only JoJo's villain on this list who 100% completely believes he is doing the right thing for all of humanity.
That is true.
I mean, like,
It makes him interesting.
Valentine thinks he's doing the right thing, but not for, like, everybody. Poochie genuinely believes he is the hero and that Jolene and her group are the villains.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously his logic is flawed and it's personal to him, but I think that makes him a very good villain. Also, Made in Heaven is cool as hell.
True, it is pretty cool. Moving to Valentine, he's going S tier for me. Favorite villain. For me, it's kind of, he has all that fun charisma I like watching in Dio when Dio's at his best. But he's, a lot more human. His motivation and goals are interesting, and just seeing how the lines he crosses for his goals are very interesting to watch and see.
Valentine, I'm gonna put him A above Part 1 Dio. I really like Funny Valentine. His stand is awesome.
Dolja.
Also, yeah, his motivation is, like, crazy. That dude is I'll give it to him. He's the most patriotic motherfucker I've ever seen in my life, so I will give him that, but at the sake of the entire rest of the world, it's a no from me. His fight with Johnny was awesome. That's one of my top favorite final fights for a JoJo part. And honestly, and Valentine's fucking creepy as hell also. Can we talk about that? Like, the whole scene with Lucy, that was crazy.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, Part 7 is basically a Lucy Steele gets harassed part. But,
yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible.
It was crazy on that.
He is a great villain. He's a great villain because I've seen a lot of JoJo fans sympathize with Valentine's point. Which
just shows how good of a politician he is.
For a president is a great point for him because that's his entire goal. I mean, that's kind of the whole confrontation with Johnny at the end anyway.
It's like, I want to believe you.
Yeah,
yeah. Moving on to Toru.
I will tell you, Toru will probably be my most unpopular opinion on this list. Because I'm putting Toru S tier behind Poochie.
Okay, we'll just... Yeah.
So I really like Toru. I know a lot of people don't, and I do understand why people don't like him. But honestly, again, like with Valentine, he's one of the creepiest fucking villains. Because, I mean, the fact that he just is in Yasuo's life, like her entire life, basically, and
for
he just, like,
half or more
appears to get information out of her, and, like, without her even realizing it, is insane.
And the fact that he dates her too is it's like, buddy, you were in the 1940s flashback. This is like the 2010s.
And I mean, I know a lot of people don't like him because his like motivation seems weak, but honestly, I think it makes sense for the rock humans. Because the whole thing with rock humans is they have to try to integrate into society with other people, and like him wanting to get rich and control like a big part of medical practices kind of makes sense in my mind. Also, he easily has the most aura out of any villain on this list.
She has not stopped talking about his outfit since you've seen him.
His outfit is fire. He has the best JoJo's drip of villains, at least.
I'm going to differ from her a bit. I'm still debating in my mind how exactly I want to put him. I'll put him close to Part 3 Dio. He just... I don't know, he lacks some of that personality that I want. I mean, he's still got it, but so did Dio. Very cool stand.
Yeah,
it's a really interesting and cool stand.
Like, I don't know, his design is peak. Also, like, his stand design is one of the best in the series.
But like, I think there's a...
Also, Wonder of You might be my favorite final fight.
That's fair.
Just everything involved in that fight is amazing.
For me, there's a decent gap between B and C, so keep that in mind. It'd be more like putting the C people down here, but I don't think they're really D tier. It's just among these others, I think there's a gap for me. So I do think B tier for me is like, they're pretty good. I enjoy seeing them. It just is like stacking them in competition with each other. Just have to keep that in mind. So, yep, that's our list. Any comments from you?
I just cut it off because it was like a
Any more comments from you while you're filming the TikTok version?
Yeah, no, that's everything. Again, this is probably gonna be the most unpopular opinions, but that's everything.
Yep, go ahead and hate us in the comments if you want. Just please don't dislike. Okay,
Actually,
bye.
leave a comment about how angry you are at my opinions.
At least if you're gonna comment about how you don't like our opinions, at least tell us what, so we can at least laugh about that.
Yeah, leave your lists in the comment section below.
Yeah, at least then we can try to understand instead of just seeing upset people.
Leave 10,000 hate comments about why me putting Toru above any version of Dio is wrong and means I am not a real Jojo fan.
Even though we read the manga. Which had to for part 8, but we've been in this for a bit. Okay, bye.